Stuart Ross coming to you with another video. However, this time it's not rainy England. You can probably tell from the trees behind me, not typical for the UK that I'm not in England. I'm actually on the island of Mauritius, here in the Indian Ocean, my favourite ocean in the world. Yeah, it was Wednesday last week, pouring with rain, and I said, one more day of rain, I am out of here. It's rained pretty much every day in Surrey, where I am in the UK, since Christmas, bar maybe 4 or 5 days. Literally, it's been terrible. There's loads of flooding. And on that note, if you're somebody watching this video that's been affected by the flooding, I hope you get everything sorted okay. I've had a lot of flooding around where I live. Fortunately, my house is okay. I have had some friends and family that have been affected, but it's just been terrible. I mean, it's just been rain, 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 rain. So I said anyway, like I said, that one more day of rain, I'm out of here. Jumped on the laptop on Thursday evening and booked my flight for the Saturday to come out here. And not sure when I'm going to return, to be honest. I'm in touch with family at home, and I'll find out what's going on with the weather. But I certainly won't be going back whilst it's torrential rain every day. Now, the reason I'm shooting this video is I wanted to share something with you, which I think is going to be of value. This will be particularly interesting for those of you who are students of mine getting started in the SFM. Particularly if you've recently got started. And also, I think anybody who's serious about starting or getting started online, and creating a lifestyle business. I think this is going to really sort of resonate with many of you, and hopefully, like I said, provide value. So what I want to talk about is this idea of why people do fail online. There's all sorts of statistics being thrown out there. 97% of people fail when they start an online business. I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, quite frankly. I mean, a lot of the statistics that are out there aren't real. They're made up. But what I want to do is I want to sort of share with you my own experience of why people fail and what I think is the antidote for it. So the first thing that I want to say, I suppose, is that I've seen such a wide range of people succeed online. People from all different backgrounds. It's not about being technical. It's not about being brought up in a certain decade or a certain era. It's not about being particularly talented in a certain area. I really have seen such a diverse range of people succeed online. And with that being said, one of the things that I'll say is it's actually quite often the people that have to make it work that get the quickest results and do go on to succeed. People that have no choice. But I'm going to tell you that I know that the biggest reason why people fail, in my experience, is that building an online business is optional. Okay, it's not something. It's not a make or break. It's not a do or die situation. They're doing it because they want to improve their lifestyle. They're doing it so that they can sit on the beaches of the world, run their businesses from anywhere. It's not often, anyway, just about making more money. It's not often just about being able to have nicer things in life. It really is usually more around just freedom and flexibility for most people. A lot of those people that start an online business based on this idea of having more freedom and flexibility are in a situation where they have a job or they have a career or they have another business, and they're paying the bills. They're not going to end up on the streets if they don't make this online business work. And that, for me, without a doubt, over the last few years, is the number one reason why people fail. Now, I'll elaborate exactly what I'm talking about here. The first thing that I do want to say, though, before I elaborate, is failing is optional, and failing is probably not the right word, because really it's quitting. The people that don't go on and build an online business, nearly always it's because they've quit. They haven't been forced to fail. They haven't had no other option. They've not built or created a business that's enabled them to live the lifestyle because they've ended up giving up or quitting. And that's really the thing that I want to address, because most of my customers, not all, but most of my customers, building an online business is optional, and it's something that they want to do for themselves and their family, normally to better their lives. And for that very reason, however, often it's just not enough. And let me address that. You see, when you aren't forced to, make something work, and it's based around nicer things like driving a nicer car or having more holidays or being able to quit the job, what you'll often find is that people that are working hard already in jobs, in careers that they know, they're confident in, within their comfort zone, that the minute the going gets tough, or the minute they're a little bit tired one week, or the minute things aren't going as quickly as they planned, it's very, very easy to say, oh, I'll put it on the back burner, and I'll focus on that tomorrow night, or I'll focus on it next week. And what you end up seeing is often when people first get started online, the first couple of weeks, they're all in. They're turning up and watching training videos, they're watching webinars, and I can only speak for my own students. They're making stuff happen, but several weeks or sometimes months down the line, that commitment starts to fade for many, many people. And whether you want to hear this or not, building an online business takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of perseverance, and it takes time. I would say, of all my successful students that have gone on to create successful businesses, I'd say the average of those have taken 6 months of solid commitment working on their business pretty much every single day before they start getting consistent results. So I'm not talking about maybe the odd sale here or there, I'm talking about consistent results where things are starting to happen daily for them, and they can really see their lives changing. And the point that I want to make, and this is really the first thing that I want to address, is that when you're kind of comfortable, when you're in your comfort zone, you've got a job or a career or a business that and it is enabling you to pay the bills, put a roof over your head, maybe more. Maybe you've got a job where you do have the nicer things, you do have your 1, 2, maybe 3 holidays a year. It's very, very easy to put things on the back burner when you're feeling tired, or you can't be bothered, or the kids have kept you up at night, or you've had a stressful week at work, or there's been a personal matter that you've had to deal with. And that, without a doubt, is the biggest reason why people never go on to create a lifestyle of their taking, really, the lifestyle by design, I suppose. And I'm talking about, this lifestyle of being able to be where you want, when you want, work when you want, be with who you want, write your own paycheck, not have to commute, not have to have all of the restrictions that come with a traditional job or business. Now, with that all being said, I want to give you the antidote. I want to tell you, in my experience, what it takes to stay committed and persevere. And one thing I'm going to say as well, which is what baffles me so often, is that I find that the people that do come in and out, dip in and dip out, and don't follow through and don't stick to their commitments, they're often the people with the most potential. It's so often the people that could really make this happen and make things happen really, really quickly, and that could be you that I'm speaking to right now. So the antidote, in my opinion, is this, and it really is. It's to have a huge vision. It really is. It's to have a big vision, much bigger than having a nicer car on the drive, much bigger than having an extra holiday a year, much bigger than, having a little bit more money in the bank. And you might be thinking that I'm going to go on and start talking about a vision bigger than yourself, or a vision outside of your own personal life, but it's not. It really is about you, particularly, in my opinion, the beginning stages. I mean, it's all very good to go out and save the world, but often, a lot of people need to save themselves first, and that is what I'm talking about. So when I say a big vision, I'm talking about completely flipping your lifestyle round from the point of view. Let's say you're commuting right now. Let's say you're averaging a monthly paycheck that enables you to get by and have some of the nicer things in life, like a couple of holidays a year. That's cool, but you have to understand that a big vision, in my opinion anyway, is so significantly different to that. I'm talking about the lifestyle where you can work less hours, where you can work from anywhere in the world, where you can be in a situation where you don't have a boss, you don't have a commute, being in a situation where you can scale your income without having to work more hours, but through working smarter and through leveraging tools and technology and the internet. And being in this situation where you can get up and go because the weather's bad at home, or you can get up and go and take your family away because you feel like it, or where you can, take 2, 3, 4 weeks off at a time if you want to, and still be in a situation where you're financially able to support yourselves, substantially. And one of the exercises that I recommend that you do if you're new, and you want to make sure you keep committed and keep following through, and I'll elaborate on that in a minute, is really take the time to design your lifestyle that you want to build. And I mean things really specific, like what would your average ideal day look like? So not the most amazing day in the world, but the average ideal day. What time would you get up? What would you do in your day? Would you read the paper down at the local coffee shop? Would you get out of bed a bit later? Would you do the school run? Would you take some time out to spend with your parents or your children or your family? Would you do something for charity? Would you head down to local church? Whatever. There is no right or wrong, but really think about what you would do differently with your day if every day was yours for the taking. And as long as you find a couple of hours to run your business, it's yours for the taking, and you can do what you want when you want. Then you can start to build on that vision, holidays, cars, vacations, second homes, etc. And what you're going to find is that by really cementing this idea or this vision, I should say, of what your ideal day in life would look like, what you're going to do is you're going to start to realise that you're probably quite far away from that right now, and in order for you to get there is going to take perseverance, work and commitment, but it's so worth it. And I'm going to tell you this, it's so worth it. It is so worth it. Here I am right now, because I choose to be, on the Indian Ocean here, just scan round. I've literally been on the hammock. I'll show you in a minute, but I've literally been on the hammock behind me for the last hour and a half reading a book. When, 6 years ago I'd have been sat in an office, working for a boss that honestly I didn't really want to work for, surrounded by people that really I didn't want to be surrounded by, and that was my life. And, I still, 6 years on, appreciate every single day what this industry has done for me, being able to live this lifestyle. So the reason I say this is the antidote, is having a big vision, is what you're going to find is that every time you feel a bit lazy, every time you feel like you're not going to follow through, every time you feel like quitting or stopping or not working or, not getting in from work and building your online business and instead being a couch potato or chilling on the sofa or getting an early night, what you're going to do is you're going to look potentially at your vision board or your list of things that you want to achieve, and it's going to motivate you and it's going to inspire you and it's going to enable you to follow through. And as I said before, what I've seen is that really 6 months of commitment for most people, for most individuals, regardless of their circumstances, is enough to really create the foundation of a very, very successful business, and something that can be built upon, of course. But people are quitting their jobs as students of mine inside of 6 months. People are completely changing their lives within 12 months. And I appreciate some people want to hear different, they want to hear it takes weeks or days. Be realistic with yourself. Nobody that I know changes their lives in a matter of days or weeks. And, this is the reality. When you first start learning new skills and applying it, 3, 4, 5 weeks does feel like a long time, specifically if there's a lack of results in that time. But that's just what it takes. And I'm telling you now that after years of doing this, that's really the number one reason why people don't go on to create the lifestyle or build the business that's going to enable them to live a lifestyle by design, is frankly commitment. It's not about special skills, it's not about age, it's not about being technical, it's not about being extra smart. Honestly, a lot of the smartest people are the most skeptical. A lot of the smartest people overanalyze things. A lot of the smartest people, I've had conversations with people who are in professional careers, and just by the fact that I am able to work anywhere, write my own paycheck, scale my income significantly above theirs, is too good to be true, just because I'm not chained to a desk. So therefore they never really give any thought or commitment to changing their lives, because it's too good to be true. Well, this is 2014. We're in the digital economy. This is a different era. Your parents, your family didn't grow up most likely with the internet, depending on how old you are when you're watching this. But for most of us, I'm 32 now, and for most of us, we didn't grow up with the internet, with smartphones. I know it's different now. But there is so much more potential and scope than there ever has been before. It's not about being chained to a desk. It's not about living life on somebody else's terms, commuting, if you don't want it to be. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So anyway, that's the main thing I want to say, is get a big vision. Really take the time. And when I say that, don't just say, oh, I want a big vision. You know, I've got a big vision, I want to quit my job. You know, take the time, really spend the time thinking about how your life is going to differ when you create that lifestyle by design, what you're going to be able to do for other people, what you're going to be able to do for the people that you love, the lifestyle you're going to be able to provide, how differently you're going to feel about waking up in the morning without an alarm clock and being able to take control of your day every day, 7 days a week. Not having to worry about what day and date it is. You know, it's a very, very different way of living. It's what I believe is how I believe life should be lived. So now I'm going to continue these videos because there's something else I want to talk about. I'm not going to do it in this video. When it comes to people, you know, succeeding and another antidote to stop people from struggling and potentially failing online, and I'm going to probably shoot that tomorrow. I'll just quickly show you around. I'm going to head back to my bungalow. So I'm in this resort in Mauritius, and it's really cool, I have to say. So it's got like 5 restaurants on the resort. They're all a la carte restaurants. There is like a buffet one as well. But these bungalows, if you can see them behind me. There's a couple of hundred of them, and there's like swing chairs, and I'll show you. In fact, I'm not going to walk too far because I'm going to head back. My bungalow's over that way. But if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the hammock over there, I've been sat in that for the past hour and a half, and just chilling out, reading my books and everything else. It's pretty awesome. Certainly beats torrential rain in England, in my opinion, anyway. So like I said, thanks for coming through to check out this video. I need to get showered, put some after sun on my burnt face, and look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I'm really going to continue from this video, talking about something a little bit different, but in line with what we've been discussing now in terms of you know, making sure you're not one of those people that fall into the bracket of quitters or failing, and go on to build a business that's going to serve you. Over and out for now, and look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care.